Hey there, what's up? This is Chris Barron, the designer podcast thing, live chat thing for July the 22nd of 2020. Let's see what's what. Let's see what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully, your day is going great. If not, no worries. Hopefully, I can help you just a little bit by talking about something that's really been on my mind for at least the past, I'd say, 10 years or so. I'm 31 now, by the way. So I've been struggling with one topic in particular, and that's productivity. So this is what we're going to talk about today: productivity, how you can get the most out of your time, how you can obviously do more stuff, get more done. Let me know if the voice quality is decent. Let me know if the video quality is decent. Hopefully, this should be okay. If not, there's going to be a recording, just a quick little thing. The recordings are slowly getting uploaded both on YouTube and on Anchor. With there's only voice, I believe, no video. So yeah, you're about to get all of them slowly. I think I'm gonna upload probably one every 2 or 3 days or so. We have a pretty big backlog. I think I have about 10 or 12 sessions that are not yet released. But getting to the topic at hand, obviously I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not a guru. I'm not anyone uh, that's specialized in this field. But I do think I do quite a lot of things on a day-to-day basis. I usually struggle with doing more on a day-to-day basis, and that's simply because, as you probably know, I'm the CEO, I'm the director of a healthy food business here in Romania. I have 13 employees at the moment, and they constantly need my attention. So I spend most of my day there. I do hiring. I do all sorts of things regarding, growing the business, making contracts. It's basically a lot of work, but even more than that, it's a lot of work because I'm selling something completely different that's never before sold here in Romania. It's oatmeal, basically. So we don't have a history with oatmeal here in Romania at all. There's not one company that focuses on this business that focuses on this product. So yeah, it's a lot of work. On the other hand, I obviously take care of Udemy, I take care of Discord, I take care of the Facebook group chat, even though I have been, I've not been as active as I should be. I'm writing another course for Adobe XD. I'm creating new videos for the Romanian Photoshop course. I spend a lot of time on live chat for my premium students, both the Romanian ones and the ones um, from my English platform. So it's a lot of things, basically. It's a lot of things. So I'd like to share a few things about how I do all this. Basically, let's get some things out of the way. First of all, I sleep 8 hours per night. I don't sleep under 8 hours. I've tried sleeping less. I don't think that's a long-term solution. So that's the number one thing. Don't sleep too little. I think it's something where it was something standard, it was the norm, but then all this hustle culture came in and everybody started sleeping 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever. And I think that's absurd. I think I obviously want to be successful. I really want to make a great career for myself, but I don't want to die. I don't want to put myself in an early grave. It's all about how you want to make your money, how you want to be successful, because you can be a workaholic. You can work from whatever, from 16 hours per day, every day with no time off. And you might get results, obviously. But, I don't want to go bald. I don't want to have all sorts of diseases. I don't want to have all sorts of back aches and pains. I don't want to sacrifice my social life and whatnot. So I really think, you have to balance things out. It's such a common thing to say, such a basic thing to say. But again, watching so many gurus, watching so many listening to so many audiobooks, I think that's something that's really overlooked. Everybody is pushing to you, is pushing and pushing, for you to become better and more productive. But again, at what cost, right? So this is why I'm starting out with the first thing: sleep. 8 hours per day, per night. I think that's essential. Coffee. I only drink 2 cups. That's it. In terms of other things that help me out tremendously, I think it's my gear, what I work with. So being productive for me means working on the computer a lot, right? So how do I get the most out of it? By using the right tools. So I'm looking at my keyboard and my mouse, and they're great. I'm looking at my chair, this is great, right? I'm looking at my microphone, again, this is great. And this is the type of thing that I strongly suggest you do. So if you're whatever, a builder, a woodmaker, or whatever you do, if you have one tool, whether it's a knife, whether it's a hammer or whatever, you need a good knife to actually make something, right? To be a chef or whatever. It's the same thing here. My keyboard is absolutely essential. I spend whatever 12 hours per day writing, and I really think that a mechanical keyboard is absolutely fantastic. And it's fantastic mostly because I know that one of my friends that was somewhat in the same business, he was creating various videos in After Effects. He had major problems with his fingers. He actually had surgery on it simply because his hand was sitting all day like this, obviously the mouse shape, and he had to have surgery because he had so many problems with it. The same thing on the left hand, all sorts of things, because again he was constantly typing, and basically the fatigue sets in and you don't really realize it. So that's another thing that's really absolutely essential. So a good mechanical keyboard is quite expensive. It's about $150, but for me, it's something absolutely essential because every single day I'm using it. The same thing with my mouse. This is a Razer Death Adder Chroma. I've been using it for the couple of years. I think about 3 years now. Again, this is fairly expensive, but again, if you buy something expensive and you use it for 3, 4, 5 years, I think it's much better than buying something cheap and using it for whatever, the couple of months, half a year, a year. So again, investing in tools, in proper tools, I think it's really fantastic. I think it's the best way to go about it. The chair in particular, this was probably the most expensive thing, but not having back pains, not having as much back pain, let's put it like that, because my back still hurts a lot. I still think it's one of the best things that you can do. This is an Ergo Human chair. This is version number 2. I had version 1 as well. This costs about $500, and it's actually great. It's one of the best chairs I've ever had. Again, $500, that's huge, that's a lot. But I've used version 1 for about 5 years. And this one, version 2, I've been using it for about 18 months, and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. So again, when you think of it, $500, but if you use it again for 5 years, I think it's totally worth it. Now, let's see what else. In terms of productivity, I like to work in sprints. I usually make a to-do list. I focus on what I need to get done. And it's usually things like, pay some bills, take care of my business until whatever, 3 o'clock. Write a blog post, write at least 3 lectures, talk to Discord at least 30 minutes per day, answer Udemy questions, and so on. So I basically start with a to-do list, and then what I do is I do some sprints. These sprints are the 2-3 hours of work where I sit down and I do nothing else. This is something that really gets me going, and I focus on the task at hand. I have 2 monitors, I have 2 displays, and I constantly use them to work on one single thing. I don't multitask a lot. In the past, I did listen to music and whatnot, but nowadays when I'm working, I don't do anything else. I have Photoshop opened and a notepad or whatever, or my email or whatever, and that's it. So up until this point, there's nothing really radical or dramatic, right? It's not something that you would consider revolutionary. But I really feel like if you focus on that list, on a notepad list, you don't need anything else, just a notepad list, and you put your to-do list. Usually what happens, at least in my case, is I do the following. I have about 7 items, 7 to 8 items, and then by the end of the day, I usually get 5 or 6 done, which could be disappointing. This is why I said at the beginning that I'm struggling with it. Could be disappointing because I'm not achieving my goals, but still, those 5 things that I actually managed to achieve, they're still fantastic. And you do that day in and day out, and it after 3 months, after 6 months, after a year, you start to get some fantastic results. It's the same as working out. If you do it just for 1 day or 1 week, you're not going to get a lot out of it. But you do that every single day, every single week, consistency, that's the key. So that's what I do. A to-do list, which is again absolutely mandatory, and then I slowly try and check things off the list. Now, let's see what else you can really do to make things better. I think one of the most critical points in my development as a designer was the ability to listen to all sorts of things at 1.5x, so at a faster speed. I never look at any YouTube videos that are under 1.5. Usually, I spend most of my time listening to YouTube videos at 2.2x, at 200%. And on Audible, I think I'm at 235% at the moment, which is the next thing I really wanna focus on. Yep, 235%. Now, obviously, that changes based on the author's accent, because some British authors really have some thick accents, so I have to slow that down sometimes to 200%. But still, I really find that's one of the most essential things, one of the most important things. And now I'm really gonna go off the rails because I want to talk about something that's a bit unrelated to the design world. The thing is, again, I want to be a complete human being, right? I don't want to be just Chris, the design guy. I want to have opinions and thoughts, and I want to be informed about many things in life. I like to watch sitcoms. I like to go out. I like to work out. I like to be up to date regarding what's going on in the world in general, right? And I feel like as a designer, if you focus on just one thing alone, if you just grind every single day and you just spend your time in Photoshop and that's it, I really feel like you become a two-dimensional person. I really feel like you're gonna become boring. You may become a better designer, but you're gonna become boring. And I don't wanna be boring. I don't wanna be two-dimensional. I don't wanna be that guy who only focuses on Photoshop and that's it. If I'm at a party, if I'm with some friends outside, if I'm in any social situation, I want to make sure that I'm pretty versatile, that I can have a conversation with people no matter what the topic is. So I really feel like that's something that's really overlooked, because again, most people, they focus on one thing alone. They have one show that they watch on TV or Netflix or whatever. They do their design stuff, they do their job, and that's it. And again, I think that's a real shame, because being shallow, being superficial is just a consequence of what you do every single day. So this is why when I eat, I watch a YouTube video about whatever at twice the speed. This is why when I drive to my office, about 30 minutes back and forth, 1 hour in total, I always listen to something on Audible. Instead of blasting music, I just put on Audible. I still listen to some music sometimes, but that's something completely different. Most of the time, I listen to audiobooks, and these audiobooks, basically, they're very diversified. They're not design related. They're totally different. They're about health. They're about business. They're about relationships. They're about psychology. Everything. Because again, I know this is a design thing, but you have to be a complete human being. If you're just a design guy, if people don't like you because all you do is talk about Photoshop or whatever every single day, I really don't think that's the right way to go. That's obviously my personal choice. That's how I choose to live my life. But it's really something where, if at least one of you guys, picks up on that and it's sensitive to that, I think it's worth pointing out. Um, I've had my fair share of interactions with people that know just one thing, whether it's politics or football or whatever. And I usually hate those guys. I usually hate those types of people, because, well, it's too much to say that I hate them. That I hate them. I dislike them. They're not fun to be around because they know only one thing. Again, whether it's politics, whether it's some opinions about conspiracy theories, whether it's something about whatever After Effects or whatever, it becomes boring, right? So I think you should diversify. I think you should explore the various interests whenever you can. For example, in the shower, again, what I did was I bought a waterproof speaker, and again through Bluetooth, I'm listening to all sorts of things, no matter if it's the Joe Rogan podcast or whatever, Jordan Peterson or Bill Burr stand-up comedy, or whatever, Gary Vaynerchuk about whatever social media and whatever, no matter what it is, or bodybuilding or whatever, the fact is, again, just digesting all that different information, I think makes you a better human being, a more rounded human being. I think again that's one of those things that really made me a better person and a better designer at the end of the day. Because what tends to happen is you feel better about yourself, and when you feel better about yourself, you're more productive. If you hate yourself, if you're stuck in a rut, if you feel that you're pedaling in place, you're not going to be all that productive. So now let's talk about how I get myself amped up. Being happy obviously is something extremely difficult, and I'm not gonna tell you in a few minutes how to be happy. But you probably know the phrase "fake it till you make it." Well, it's the same thing with happiness, and one of the best ways to fool yourself is to listen to some great music. Just one song, one single song, maybe two songs at the most, and that's it. Get yourself fired up. Get yourself in a position where it really gets you going. With whether you want to dance or just nod your head, just really feel the music. I really feel that's really important. Feel the music, and then when it's all said and done, after 3 minutes or whatever, and you get to work, you're still amped up. You're still really happy. Now, obviously, this is a really subjective thing, but for me, this has been a lifesaver. Because again, there's all sorts of things that happen in life that you're not in control of, and you get sad, you get depressed, you get whatever. You're not in a good positive state. So again, the best way to go about it is to put on some stand-up comedy, or just a fantastic piece of music. It doesn't matter what type of music it is, as long as it's positive and it really makes you jam to it. um it's again, it's all about state, right? It's all about being in a good state of mind. I do have to tell you a little bit about some supplements, and I think I spoke about them in the freelancing course. I did talk about them for a while, and it's basically like steroids, right? So let me talk about something a bit controversial. So when your paycheck depends on how good you look, or how fast you can run, or how fast you can throw a ball, or whatever. I'm talking about athletes here. You're probably gonna do whatever it takes to get ahead, right? So this is why people use illegal substances to actually make themselves stronger, or react faster and whatnot. I really feel like we should do the same thing in normal limits. And obviously, coffee is the most basic thing. 2 cups of coffee per day, I really feel like that may help you, especially if you plan on doing some cardio, just some running in the park, or the treadmill work, or whatever. I don't think cardio by itself is great when you want to write a script, for example. When you want to do creative work, the types of, really focusing intently on, writing whatever, some copy, some articles for the blog or whatever. But in most cases, coffee can help you. The second thing that I'm really a big fan of is ginkgo biloba. I'm not really sure how that's pronounced, but let me write it up. Ginkgo biloba. Is that how it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I really feel like that's a great way to enhance your performance, and it's something that's really, so far, in these 4 or 5 years that I've used it, I haven't seen any negative consequences. So I'm really happy about that. I do check up, I do some blood work here and there, probably about once every 6 months or so. It's true that nowadays I do have some liver issues, but those are basically due to fatigue. That's a statement of how hard I work each and every day, and my gym exercise and whatnot, my workouts and whatnot. But overall, the doctor assured me that this supplement has no impact on the liver. So I'm really happy about that, and I really do feel it makes a difference. This particular supplement is fairly cheap, and it basically helps with your circulation. Because here's the thing, if you're staying, if you're standing down so much on a chair each and every day for the whatever 6, 8, 12, 14 hours a day each and every day for 10 years, you're gonna have circulation problems. Your feet are gonna get cold. You're gonna get incredibly cold feet, and I really know that for a fact because my girlfriend constantly tells me that I have cold feet. Your arms as well, they may feel very cold at times. So that's just poor circulation. So again, I really think this supplement can help you out. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, and please don't take anything without consulting a doctor. Don't buy any supplements that you've heard of just because you think they're cool. These are basically, again, coffee and ginkgo biloba. These are basically very safe. There are other drugs called nootropics, and these ones, you've probably heard about them if you've been listening to Joe Rogan. These are basically some pills, some supplements that when you take them, you basically focus, your focus goes off the charts. Basically, it really makes you be incredibly productive. The problem is, from what I've read up, these are controversial. These may have side effects, serious side effects. And basically, I wouldn't go so far, right? So, if I'm going to the gym, if I'm doing a workout, I'm happy to take a multivitamin. I'm not happy to take testosterone, right? So that's basically the difference here. I am trying my best to be more productive, and I am, gonna drink a cup of coffee and take some ginkgo biloba, but I'm not gonna push it to an extreme, right? Because I really don't think, first and foremost, I don't think it's really needed. I think if you're really clear on your goals, you should be able to have great results, no matter your current state of mind or whatever. Okay, sorry, I just received a message here. Okay, let's get back on track now. if there's one thing that I really wanna emphasize, is the fact that there's a certain grind period. What I would love for you to get the most out of my courses is enough energy and enough insight where you can grind for 6 to 36 months and get enough cash so you can transition out of it. So right now, as you probably know, I don't freelance anymore because freelancing is extremely taxing on the body. So basically, whatever I said up until this point is just for that grind period. The worst thing that you can do, in my opinion, is to not grind, is to do one design contest per week or whatever, 3 per month. I think that's the worst thing that you can do. What I would love for you to do is to go indeed all out for a certain period of time, probably about six weeks, and see if this is the right field for you, right? Get incredibly productive, do all these prints, these sessions, these design sessions, 2-3 hours where you do a homepage, whatever it is that you do. And then you take a break, on 1 hour break, you go and eat, you go and take a shower, you go for a run, you have to take care of your body, you get a massage, no matter what it is, so you can get back to it and stay productive. By the way, I've been getting massages for about 4 years now. And I think I spent a lot of money on getting massages. But you know what? That money comes back tenfold simply because I can continue to sit down and work more. So again, I think it's really something where you have to be smart. The gym workouts, obviously, they really tire me out. When I don't go to the gym, I can easily sleep for 6 hours. So those 2 hours, they can really add up. But the thing is, I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to be unhealthy. I want to be productive. I want to do all these designs. I want to do all these projects, but I want to stay healthy. I want to look great, right? So this is why I'm not going to an extreme. Now, again, ideally, what you should do is do these 6 weeks and see if designing is the right thing for you. If this is a fit, if you think you're getting good results, if you're getting good feedback and whatnot, if you're constantly getting eliminated, if you've done 20 design contests and you haven't had at least 4 stars, then just move on. The worst thing you can do is just drag it on. Again, 1-2 design contests, 1 project per week. Even if you don't spend your time on 99 Designs or Design Crowd or whatever, At least, go on Fiverr, go on Freelancer, whatever it is, but make sure that you find if this is the right thing for you. Let's say this is the right field for you. Let's say you do want to design. Okay, then again, ideally you should work from anywhere from 6 months to whatever, a couple of years, no more than 3 years, I believe, and get enough money so you can start a business. No matter what it is, it can be in a separate thing like I did. I made some bakeries, I made various things. Or it can be something design related. Get a design agency, hire some other designers, whatever it may be. But the thing is, freelancing and grinding is not something that's really healthy. It's not something that you should bank on in the long run. What you should do is you should do the following. You have whatever. You make $10,000, right? You earn it in whatever, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. And then you use 5,000 to start a business, to start an e-commerce shop, an Etsy shop, whatever it may be, drop shipping, whatever, right? And then if it doesn't work out, you can go back to grinding. You can go back and make another $10,000. So that's the thing here, because if you're spending your time and you're living paycheck to paycheck, if you have that fear of, I want to start a business, but I'm scared maybe if I'm gonna lose my money, what am I gonna do then? This is what freelancing does to you. This is what it done for me. I was fearless basically because I knew in my heart that I could work on 99 Designs or whatever else platform. I could easily get a job or whatever and get that money back. So that's what I would basically suggest to you. Find out if this is the right field for you, then grind from 6 to 36 months or whatever it may be. Make sure you bank enough money and then start a business. If that business fails, go again and go again. Rinse and repeat. So now, doing a short recap, it's the following. Sleep well, drink a bit of coffee, ginkgo biloba, get a massage, get a good chair, get a good keyboard and mouse. Do your best to diversify your interests. Watch YouTube videos at least 1.5x, preferably 2x. Use Audible if possible. Again, listen to as many things as you can, and basically diversify yourself. Because here's the thing. Here's why I'm focusing so much on this. Let's say that you break up with your girlfriend or the boyfriend, and then you wanna have a new relationship. Or maybe again you want to get a job and you go for an interview, right? You have to be able to interact with people. You have to be social. You have to, to be aware of different things, of different micro universes. Because again, if I'm interested in football and you know nothing but Photoshop, how are we gonna talk, right? If you go on a date and again, the only thing that you know is Adobe XD, then how are you supposed to obviously create any sort of connection and then have a relationship? So this is why I'm focusing on it, because if your body is broken down, if you're overweight, if you're sad, if your body isn't functioning correctly, if your mind is upset, if you're depressed, if you don't have someone to share your life with, it's really difficult to be productive. It's incredibly difficult to actually sit down and create a website, especially when you know you're going to get rejected, especially when you know you're going to get negative feedback and whatnot. So you really have to be strong mentally. And to be strong mentally, again, you have to do all sorts of things. Go for a run, go and do some ping pong sessions, whatever, listen to various types of music, interact with people. I think, again, that's probably one of the most important things. Because obviously you can buy a mechanical keyboard and you can, you can buy that supplement and you can get a massage and whatnot. But you can't really make yourself a better personality unless you work on it. Unless you're really happy, with your own life. And obviously it's fine to be a bit upset or not completely happy about certain things in your life. But at the end of the day, again, what matters is you're not two-dimensional, that you're not superficial, that you're not shallow. Don't be that person that only talks about design and that's it. Even if it does bring you results in the short term, I think that's not the right way to go. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the general chat. I'm going to stick around for a couple of more minutes. We do have a bit of extra time left. So let's see what's what. Between Udemy and Skillshare, I would say Udemy 100%. Green tea, that's a good alternative to coffee. I totally agree. Especially if you want to have nice teeth. Coffee obviously isn't a great fit for that. It will make your teeth less attractive. And again, that's something that I had the braces on fairly recently. I think I had braces, I think maybe 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago, and I really think that's something that's gonna change your entire face, right? Having nice teeth, it's a great thing. Because again, basically, what made me it made me smile more, and basically it made me more social. And by being more social, I was happier, and since I was happier, I could work longer. It's it's an interesting, domino effect, right? Let's see if that's anything else. Okay. Yeah, I do agree that 90% of gurus are people that constantly try and sell you something, and I'm quite disappointed in that myself. This is why, when you feel like you found someone that you really appreciate, for example, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, it's really something special, right? Because on the other hand, there are people like, for example, Grant Cardone is someone who constantly pops up on YouTube, and again, you know that he's trying to sell you something. It really is something quite interesting when you find one or two people who just share information just for the good of it. Obviously, in the long run, you may have a good opinion about them, and you might buy their book or whatever. But that's not the point, and that's something that Gary Vaynerchuk does successfully. Basically, he's a business guru, a marketing guru that puts out tons of content, and everything is totally free, right? Even, sessions where, he has a packed audience, and the ticket is whatever, $300, $500. He posts it, after a couple of weeks on YouTube, totally free. So he's the type of guy that will give you tons of value, and yeah, it's something that I really appreciate. But yeah, most of the time, gurus are not something that I appreciate. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, no, I think this is it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm not sure if you appreciated this conversation where it was mostly about non-design related stuff. But again, exactly to my point, I think we should grow as complete human beings, not just as designers. If we're a complete person, I think that's gonna do us a lot better in the long run, especially when you think about all the rejection that's in this field, because rejection in the design community is absolutely huge. You know what? Just one little thing before I go. I was grinding on 99 designs, and I never ever got 5 stars on an entry on my first entry. Never in the history, and I did 360 contests, I believe. And it was about 3 years when I finally got my first 5 star rating from the get go. Even then, I still didn't win. So that's one thing. But yeah, it took me so long to get 5 stars from the get go. It seems like no matter what you do, no matter the client, everybody says, wow, it's great, but, and that but is really something that's if you're the designer and you've been working with clients, you probably know that feeling. Hey, Chris, it's great, but could you please just, could you? That's the design field for you. The client is never happy. He's never satisfied. You constantly have to swallow your pride, your ego, and do some changes. Because again, that's the game. And if you're not happy, it's really easy to go off the walls. It's really easy to get upset and just have a meltdown. Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you on Sunday with something more design related. Thank you so much. Have a good one. This is Chris signing out. Bye.